Roger Radcliffe is an aspiring songwriter who lives in London, England in a squalid bachelor flat. His Dalmatian dog, Pongo, decides to watch women and their dog walking in the street until he finds suitable matches for them both. Spotting a woman named Anita and her Dalmatian Pudditor, Pongo drags Roger to the park to arrange a meeting. Roger and Anita fall in love and marry, as do Pongo and Pudditor. The family acquires a nanny and moves to a small townhouse near Regent's Park. Pudditor becomes pregnant with a litter of 15 puppies. Anita is spoiled, fur-obsessed former schoolmate Cruella de Vil stops by and inquires about the arrival of the puppies, causing fear and distrust in the family. In response, Roger writes a jazzy song to make fun of her. When the puppies are born, one puppy appears to be stillborn, but Roger manages to save his life. Cruella barges in again and demands to buy the puppies. Roger finally stands up to her and tells her the puppies are not for sale. Furious, Cruella vows revenge. Some months later, Nanny puts the puppies to bed after an evening of watching television, while Pongo and Pudditor go for a walk with Roger and Anita. Horace and Jasper Berdoon, two burglars secretly hired by Cruella, pose as men from an electric company and steal the puppies. In response, the Radcliffes enlist Scotland Yard and put advertisements in all the papers. Roger immediately suspects Cruella, but a police investigation offers no evidence against her. The Dalmatians contact Danny the Great Dane at Hampstead, who uses the Twi'lek HT bark gossip chain to forward their request for help to dogs all over England. In Withymarsh, Suffolk, old Towser the Bloodhound passes the word on to the Colonel, a sheepdog, and his cat friend Sergeant Tibbs. They investigate the nearby, older Will place, where puppies had been heard barking 2 nights earlier. Tibbs sneaks inside and is nearly killed by Jasper, but escapes. The Colonel sends word back to London that the puppies are found. Pongo and Pudditor leave through a back window and begin a long cross-country journey, crossing a flooded and icy river and running through the snow towards Suffolk. Meanwhile, Cruella tells the Baddens the police are on their trail. She orders them to kill and skin all the dogs by daybreak. After she leaves, Tibbs helps the puppies escape through a hole in the wall. But the Baddens notice and pursue. The Colonel meets up with Pongo and Purdy and tells them of the trouble. The 2 Dalmatians attack Jasper and Horace, destroying part of the house and giving the puppies time to flee. Pongo and Pudditor reunite with their litter of 15 at Colonel and Tibbs' home farm, only to discover there are 84 more puppies with them. Upon learning from Tibbs that Cruella intends to make coats out of them, Pongo and Pudditor decide to take all 99 pups home with them. The Dalmatians start their homeward trek, pursued by the Baddens. All water has turned to ice, so the dogs use the creeks to avoid leaving tracks. They shelter from a blizzard in a dairy farm with a friendly collie and some cows, then make their way to Dinsford, where they meet a black Labrador, who is waiting for them in a blacksmith's shop. Cruella and the Baddens catch up, so Pongo has his whole family roll in a sooty fireplace to disguise themselves as other Labradors. The Labrador helps them board a moving van bound for London, but melting snow falls on Lucky and exposes his spots. Cruella pursues and tries to ram the moving van off the road. The Baddens, in their truck, attempt the same thing and accidentally smash into Cruella's car instead, which sends both their vehicles into a ditch. The moving van continues to London as Cruella throws a tantrum. Jasper, having had enough, tells her to shut up. Back in London, a sad nanny and the Radcliffes try to enjoy Christmas, and the wealth they have acquired from the song about Cruella, which has become a big radio hit. The soot-covered Dalmatians suddenly flood the house. Upon removing the soot and counting the massive family of dogs, Roger decides to use the money from his song to buy a big house in the country, forming a Dalmatian plantation. All the dogs of London begin barking, celebrating the return of the Dalmatian puppies and their parents.